last 3 years, I think the greatest accomplishments for the Commission, firstly, the additional resources and budget that the Commission was able to get. That allowed us to have more efficiency in our operations, better timelines for dealing with complaints. Secondly, our presence on social media. We've done a lot of work in that area thanks to some of the great employees at the Commission. We have a presence now on social media, and that's so important to educate and advocate for some of the human rights issues we have in the province. And thirdly, the composition of the Commission members. We are now more diverse. We show the diversity that we have in New Brunswick, and that's also very important. So during the pandemic, it's had a significant impact on a number of groups, and we saw the impact of that through the number of complaints that we received. And the other point that I will make is that during the pandemic, we didn't have an opportunity to do face-to-face meetings as much as we would have liked to. And starting 3 years ago, we were right in the middle of the pandemic. And that's one of my regrets as chair of the Commission, not being able to meet some of these groups. And we've done some of it in the last few months and maybe in the last year, but we could have done a lot more. So and we've got some catching up to do in that respect. So yes, it's had an impact. A lot of complaints related to pandemic issues, not necessarily pandemic itself, but issues related to the pandemic. We have a lot of challenges in New Brunswick from a human rights perspective. We are a welcoming province, but we need to do better. We need to do more and be even more welcoming to all groups, in particular newcomers to New Brunswick from different parts of the world or different parts of Canada for that matter. We also have some issues from a housing perspective, from a disabilities perspective. As you may know, more than half of our complaints are disability related. Not only from a physical disability perspective, but also mental disability. And those are situations that we need to do more work to make sure that we fully understand the issues related to disabilities in New Brunswick and to educate people in their responsibilities and roles from that perspective. My hope for the next chair, Philomene, is that she'll continue the work that we've started. And because she's been on the Commission as a member for the last few months, she's already aware of some of the matters that we deal with. And she'll be, I'm sure, working with some of the communities that we've worked with, LGBTQ+ communities, as well as I know that she'll continue the work that we've started on the governance of the Commission. For instance, the Commission needs to have more independence, to be seen as more impartial and objective than we currently are. And I trust that Philomene will continue that work.